Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Now Braith with a 1-2 as this one's lifted into left center field. Going back as a center fielder. This one's going to go behind his head and one run will score. Running second now is going to be Kevin Donati, and he's going to be running third. Going all the way to second base is now going to be Janowski. He's going to stay put. No throw. And that is a 2 RBI 2-bagger by the second baseman, Brandon Janowski. And the Suns now lead it by a score of 6-2.
Now we're going to take you to the birthplace of baseball, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park.
Here again, the payoff. High fly ball down the left field line. Going back here is Maduri towards the warning track. Gone! Pittsfield Suns tie up the ball game with a clutch 2-run homer by Connor Moriarty.
Now here's your host for Pittsfield Suns baseball, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belargent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to beautiful Paul Dowd Field at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, as the Pittsfield Suns get ready to take FCBL action against the defending FCBL champion, Nashua Silver Knights. Good late afternoon and early evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Billy Madewell. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day and early evening. Alongside me, as always, my longtime broadcast partner, Andrew Belargent. Andrew, it's Christmas in July, and the Suns are looking for a gift in form of a W.
Ho, 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 everyone. Yes, it's a big game for the Suns today as they look to try to pull farther away from the Silver Knights in their quest to get to the playoffs.
Now, for that quest, well, we're going to have to give you some quick updates preluding to this game. When we come back here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show, we're going to give you a full tripper on the FCBL, and Andrew is going to also have a sit-down interview with someone on the Suns roster. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your book.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Did you know the third leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
You suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work. Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. With the game ahead of us today, let's go ahead and look around the FCBL real quick before getting into live action tonight. Starting off with the standings here around the FCBL. As has been the case all season long, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks stand atop the FCPL at a 29-13 record, but the Worcester Bravehearts are ever closer to the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, now just a game and a half back behind the Sharks after being on an absolute tear as of recent. Dropping a game recently against the Suns, the Bravehearts promptly came here a couple days ago and won, and then they won their game last night to now restart a 2-game winning streak at 28-15. 24-19 sit the Bristol Blues at 5.5 games back of the Sharks and 4 back of the Bravehearts. In fourth place are the Brockton Rocks in even 22-22. And of course, in fifth place, the Pittsfield Suns, they're 3.5 games back of the Brockton Rocks. A good hill to climb if they would like to overtake Brockton. The Suns are 17-24. However, the Suns are 2.5 games up on the North Shore Navigators at 15-27. So the Suns have a bit of breathing room on the Navs. And today's visiting Nashua Silver Knights are also in that distinction. They're four full games back of the Suns and currently dwelling in the cellar of the FCBL at 14-29, falling back a little bit from the Navigators as they are a full game and a half back of North Shore. That said, let's have a look at what we've got going on for game action tonight. For one thing, the North Shore Navigators will visit the Worcester Bravehearts at Hanover Insurance Park at Pittsfield. In about 20 minutes, they will throw first pitch. About an hour until they throw first pitch at Muzzy Field as the Bristol Blues will host the Brockton Rocks. Also had some games going on yesterday. Slugfest in Worcester as the Bravehearts hosted the Brockton Rocks and ultimately defeated Brockton by a score of 12-7. The Nashua Silver Knights visited the North Shore Navigators in a big game for Nashua if they wanted to stay decently alive in the playoff hunt, and they did so, defeating the North Shore Navigators by a score of 5-3. Meanwhile, the hot Martha's Vineyard Sharks hosted and dispatched up the Bristol Blues by a final score of 10-6. So on that note, we have a little bit more for you coming up in this pregame, but before we get to that, after a few PSAs here, I had the opportunity to sit down with Suns backstop Severino Simeone, and we will have a few PSAs before we get to that here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one, or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. For today's sit-down interview, I have with me Pittsfield Suns backstop Severino Simeone. Sevy, how are you doing today?
Great, how are you?
Doing just fantastic. So, looking at the game the other day between, of course, the Suns and Worcester Bravehearts, bit of a rough day overall. The team dropped the game by a fairly ugly margin, but you in particular had a phenomenal game. You were just a homer short of the cycle and even threw a shutout inning in relief. So, how did you personally feel about your performance in that game against the Bravehearts?
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously happy with how I did as a whole. I mean, you want that day to happen in a part where you can help your team out more, so that it was a little bit bittersweet, but like something like that can hopefully start momentum as we keep rolling, and hopefully we'll pop up again. I'll be able to do a similar thing in a spot that matters a little bit more.
So looking at it, I'm sure it sounds like you would agree with me that it was a pretty solid two-way day for you, both pitching and batting. And do you feel that off the heels of a game like that, you may or may not deserve more playing time, as we don't typically see you in the lineup all that often?
Yeah, I mean, like, playing time's not really something I could complain about, really. Like I think it's you get what you earn. And we also only have 2 catchers, so now the kind of situations are arisen when I'm going to get that playing time almost regardless. But I wouldn't say I deserve anything more any off of one day. It's more of like a consistent thing and being able to keep it going. Then the picture of maybe deserving more starts to come out.
So I think you hit on the head perfectly. It's not usually an ideal situation when a team is putting out 2 position players, yourself and Peter Marin, in that game to pitch. But of course, you still rose to the call with a pretty successful scoreless inning. So looking at yourself as a pitcher, I don't imagine you look at this too much. But what is your general, if anything, background with pitching? And is it something you think you'd be able to do more consistently?
Yeah, I pitched in high school a good amount. I was always told to get on the mound back then because people said I had a good arm. So they're like, you should be up on the mound pitching. I threw in high school a lot, but then in college I was actually recruited by some places as a 2-way, but I didn't want to pitch. I decided I wanted to just hit and play in the field, so I kind of shut that down. But come back here, Getty asked me if I wanted the opportunity to throw again. I said, why not? Hop out there, have some fun. That's kind of what I did, help the team out and take some innings up if I need it.
I would say it went pretty well. So looking at that, it sounds like you actually have a pretty long history as a pitcher. So kind of a funny question. What do you think your best pitch is?
Oh, the off-speed stuff's definitely not there. Haven't been able to work on it without throwing bullpen stuff like that. So I'd have to say my fastball is my best pitch for sure. Just trying to get it in the zone and get in the spot that makes it tough to hit. But yeah, I'd go with my fastball as my best pitch.
Not in doubt. So looking at it overall, of course, it's unfortunately been a fairly rough statistical season for you offensively, but of course that game the other day really brought those stats up a little bit. So what do you think the key moving forward is for you to continue that solid overall improvement?
Yeah, I mean, the stats definitely haven't been there. I've hit a lot of balls hard this year that just haven't really fallen my way. Yesterday they started to fall a little bit. So I think I haven't, throughout the season, haven't gotten frustrated with myself, even though it looked rough. Just kind of try to stay within myself and keep a good process going and hopefully keep it going after yesterday. Maybe balls are going to start to fall my way and things like that and turn those stats around a little bit.
So having a look at the team as a whole, kind of in a no man's land, if you will. They're a few games back of Brockton, not really all that close to overtaking them, but got a couple games up over North Shore and a little bit more over Nashua. Not in any particular danger of being overtaken by them. Kind of in a bit of no man's land. So what do you think the key is for the team moving forward to stay as consistent and enter the playoffs, ideally if you guys should make it, with as much momentum as possible?
Big thing is to pick up games that you should win or you look at as a big win situation. Today would be one of those against Nashua, someone that's lower than us. We don't want to drop today, have them creep up on us, and then all of a sudden they're potentially beating us out for a playoff spot. So I think to keep us rolling, to get us hot, is to more so win the games that we know we should win, beat the teams that we have more talent than, and then when we come around and we play the top tier teams or the teams that are higher in the standings than us, winning those games, knowing we beat those teams, we can play with those teams easily and just kind of turn around, get the ball to bounce our way one time and take some of those games too.
So going off of your point on games you should win, as you mentioned, one of those is probably tonight against the Nashua Silver Knights, a game against the team that has been cellar dwelling in the FCBL most of the year. How do you think that your team is going to take care of the Nashua Silver Knights tonight?
I'm hoping for a great performance by everyone. I mean, if we get the bats going, I really think our starting pitchers will do their job. So I think, last time we played them, the bats didn't come out great, but I know that we have the potential to come out and swing it. And if we do that, I really think it's on the lineup to get it going. If the lineup gets it going, I think we'll be great and we'll come out definitely on top of this game.
We certainly hope that will happen. Well, thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I hope you guys have a nice game.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more of the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Getting your child home safely.
Tap your views together 3 times.
Is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. With everything having been said and done, let's have a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams. Starting off with the visiting Nashua Silver Knights. Leading off, the right fielder number 12, Mike White. Batting second to second baseman number 2, Nick Biddison. The all-star shortstop number 8, Cody Morissette, will hit third. The home run derby champion all-star DH number 21, Jake LaBelle, will hit cleanup. You wonder why that might be. Batting fifth, the first baseman number 37, Joe Bramonti, will hack. Hitting sixth will be the left fielder number 25, Jeff Costello. Center fielder number 1, Luke Tyree, will hit seventh with Max Goyon, batting eighth and positioning himself at third. Finally, the backstop number 9, Joe Caparis, will hit. And look at who the Suns will put to face these men. Surprisingly, receiving the start in this situation, it is Ryan Towley. And actually, Towley has received a start earlier this season in 4 overall appearances, having pitched 12 innings, giving up 19 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, walking 7 to 14 strikeouts, a losing decision on the season, and plenty of hard contact surrendered, 7 doubles with a couple triples, and a pretty inflated 8.25 ERA to boot. On that note, having a look at the starting lineup for the bats who will support Towley in the Pittsfield Suns. Leading off, the Pittsfield native right fielder number 18, Chad Shade. Batting second and manning second as well, number 30, Thomas Hughes. Hitting third and residing at short, number 5, Brian McHale, with the cleanup man being first baseman number 38, Patrick Sullivan. Hitting fifth and DHing it for the Suns, number 14, Dylan Fairclough. Batting sixth and positioning himself in center field is number 20, Dave Matthews. Hitting seventh and playing third, number 1, Jack Kalumovic. Batting eighth and behind the plate for the Suns today, number 7, Hunter Hudson. Finally, hitting ninth and residing in the left, number 23, Nolan Cloutier. And looking at who will go up against these 9, a last-second start after their original starter was scratched. It looks like it will be number 16, Justin Snyder. And looking at Snyder on the season, solid overall year with 2 starts and 4 overall appearances, 11 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, 5 runs, 4 earned, walked a trio with 6 strikeouts, and a 3.27 ERA. And on that note, of course, what we have left to do tonight is to call this game, and for that, I will bring aboard our very own play-by-play broadcaster, Billy Madewell.
Great to hear that pregame report, as always, Andrew. Thank you so much for that. A couple things here. You just saw the managers meeting at home plate. In the right-handed batter's box, you had Matt Gedman. In the left-handed batter's box, Nashua Silver Knights skipper B.J. Neverett. The home plate umpire, who's currently right now behind home plate, David Meyer. And then behind the bases will be Rich Gunton on the bases. Now, we do have on-field lineups being announced, but of course we just had those announced by Andrew. So this gives us a couple minutes to mention a few things. As you heard with Andrew, with Severino Simeone in that interview, he said that they are down to 2 catchers, and that is Hudson as well as Sevy. That being said, all-star catcher Taylor Mier unfortunately was injured, suffered a concussion, and to protect his college eligibility, medically that is, he has left the team. So again, wish all things well there for Taylor Mier having to travel back home. We wish him well on the upcoming college season. Now, with that being said, we did get a notice that before this ball game started, there was a change at pitcher. For that change, we do not know the reasoning for it. But right now, Jeff Mossow, again, he has been scratched due to undisclosed and unknown reasons at this point. But again, Snyder is going to be getting the call to hurl on the mound here for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights. So, again, Andrew, for the Suns, right now, as you said, they're in no man's land. They're the 5 seed. And for the Nashua Silver Knights, right now, they're on the outside looking in. Right now, again, they need to protect the starting pitcher. They need to get the bats hot, ready and early and make sure that the pitching can go against this big-time Nashua Silver Knight team. Now, again, they are in last place, sure, but they're no team to sleep on. They're back-to-back FCBL champions for a reason. And with that being said, Tolley is going to step onto the mound following the on-field announcements, and we're going to listen in live to the national anthem. You've been listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
What's so lovely we feel at the twilight's last gleaming, whose was bright and bright stars through the fabulous sky. O'er the ramparts we watch, were so proud and sweet dreaming.
With the national anthem being sung, we are moments away for some Pittsfield Suns baseball. One more time and a once through, or in this case twice through, with the starting lineup for the Nashua Silver Knights, the visiting team. Andrew has that entire lineup.
Leading off, Mike White, batting second, Nick Biddison. Thirdly, Cody Morissette, followed up by Jake LaBelle. Batting fifth is Joe Romanti, with Jeff Costello batting sixth. Luke Tyree hits seventh with Max Goyon batting eighth. And the order is finished off by Joe Caparis.
So, again, it will be Snyder going to be hurling to Capris from third to first, continuing that is for the opposite team. We'll do that next inning. It's going to be Tolley on the mound, hurling to the backstop, late addition Hudson. From third to first, Kalumovic, McHale, Hughes, Sullivan, and from left to right, Cloutier, Matthews, Shade. Outfield dimensions here at Paul Dowd Field at Wacona Park come as follows: 310 feet down the left field line, 377 in left field. 374 it goes in center field, 3 feet shorter than the left. 403 the power alley in right center field. That is the deepest part of the ballpark. In right center, now down the right field line, 305. Pittsfield Suns going out in their alternative home black unis, the lighter mesh style. White Pittsfield embroidered with yellow on the front, red numbers on the left abdomen. White numbers on the back embroidered with yellow as well. White pants with a red trim down the side, black cap, black brim with the Suns P logo. And for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights, they come in their road black uniforms with the Nashua Silver Knight I logo on the front. From the shoulders up, it is white with black print of Nashua and Silver Knights strode about. They come in gray pants with a blue trim down the side, gray cap, red brim, and the Nashua Silver Knight logo as the cap insignia. Now, leading tonight's ball game off for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights will be left-handed hitting right fielder, number 12, Mike White. Here's Ryan Tolley with the very first pitch of tonight's ball game, and that is in the dirt low for a ball. This ball game starting at 6:31 p.m.
White, a 311 hitter, a double, a triple, and a homer, driven in 8 runs with 9 walks to 4 strikeouts thus far.
The next pitch, as this one's a hot shot over past the shortstop, and that is going to be a seeing-eye single there for White.
A hot start to the ball game for him as well.
So the 1-0 count is a base hit there for Mike White. Now the second baseman, number 2, Nick Biddison, batting second. So a true number 2 here, that being Biddison.
What's more of a number 2 is he's listed on the team's website as a catcher. That being said, he is also a .224 hitter with a triple, a homer, 7 RBI with 24 walks and 16 strikeouts. But yes, actually listed as a catcher on the team's website, but getting a start at second base tonight.
White a large lead on first as this one slapped foul down the third base side. Foul, count is 0-1. So stepping back in. Again, a large lead over at first from White. Very large. As the next pitch, hit high in the air towards center. Going back here is Matthews, further back. And that one's going to drop and go off the wall. And that's easily going to score the runner. And let's see, the throw over to third will not be in time. And that is an RBI triple by the second baseman, number 2, Nick Biddison. With the second hit of the ball game, RBI triple makes it 1-0. Nashua Silver Knights lead it.
Well, that was fast, and just off of the first 2 batters alone, Nashua pushes across more runs than they did their entire last game here at Pittsfield. Already off to a big start against Ryan Tolley, and he's really going to have to settle in. It's going to be quite the effort for him to prevent a second run from coming aboard after the RBI triple.
Pitch is in there for a called strike to the shortstop, number 8, Cody Morissette. Count is 0-1. Tolley shakes off the sign. He winds and deals. The 0-1, that one drops low. Good block there from Hudson. Now 1 ball, 1 strike.
The all-star Morissette, a .321 hitter, a triple and a homer, 14 RBI, 14 walks to 21 strikeouts on the year.
1-1 misses outside. Count now is 2 balls and 1 strike from Tolley.
Really, the first time we saw Tolley here, he really had a rough performance. In that time since then, he's really settled in, but in this start here, the first I believe we've seen of him yet at Lacona Park, things already getting off to a bad start for him early.
Gave him a hard hit single to center. Then this one, the wind just took it because the wind is absolutely whipping here.
It's quite pleasant up here, but it doesn't seem like it's so pleasant for him down there.
Not with that pitch, as it's well high, and that'll bring the count full at 3-2. Nobody gone, run already in, and there's a runner on third just to begin the ball game. Tolley with a payoff. This one swung, going into left field. This will easily score the runner. Cloutier will grab that one. The throw-in will not be in time. And that is a sacrifice fly for Morissette. Already a 2-0 lead with 1 man gone.
Not as simple as it gets. You just have to hit a fly ball, and it brings in the runner from third. I did say it would be like a very steep uphill battle for the runner on third to not score with 0 outs, and unfortunately it just didn't happen for Tolley.
And now here's the DH, the home run hitting champion. Number 21, Jake LaBelle.
Don't leave anything for Jake LaBelle to hit on the year. Is a .349 hitter. He's blasted off 4 times with a team-leading 22 RBI, walking 9 times with a tied for second on the team with 23 strikeouts.
Pitch was easily in there on a breaking ball for Tolley. Here's the 0-1. Outside corner, great pitch. Now it's 0-2. And now with the bases empty, I think this is where Tolley's starting to settle in, going back from the windup. Here's the 0-2. Foul back.
He's already given up a couple of runs here. The very first guys he faced. So you hope that he can settle in and at least not repeat that trend.
Time called here by LaBelle, trying to step back in. Tolley has a sign. Here's the wind and the 0-2. This one cut on, going to short. McHale gloves it, throws over to first in time for the second out of the inning. An underrated play there from McHale, who took it off the webbing of the glove and essentially snow-coned it. Great time to recover, and he throws over to first in time to get LaBelle.
Great time to snow-cone it when the theme tonight is Christmas in July. A great job from McHale. Yes, a great job from McHale fielding that one. I could see it. It looked like it was a little bit tricky picking it, but he ultimately made it look effortless.
Now here's the first baseman, number 37, Joe Bramante.
Looking at Bramante on the year, still looking for his first base hit. He's only played in 1 game in a Silver Knights uniform thus far, and in that game he went 0 for 4 with a strikeout.
Pitch was in there on a changeup there from Tolley. The count here is no balls, 1 strike, 2 men gone, 2 runs off 2 hits. Tolley with the 0-1. Outside corner, great pitch. And now it's 0-2.
Yeah, you are right, Billy. He seems to be settling in. He's pitching with more confidence and a higher tempo as well.
The 0-2, that one swung on down the third baseline, but a great backhand from Kalumovic, but foul. And the count now is remaining at 0-2.
But at first by a mile with a pick like that.
Tolley, again the 0-2. Swung on over to short again. McHale gloves it. Throws over to first in time to end the half. But not before 2 runs come aboard off a single, triple, and sacrifice fly. 2 runs off 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. We head now to the bottom frame in the home half as the Pittsfield Suns already trail the Nashua Silver Knights 2-0. We're going to keep it here and give you the starting lineup for your Pittsfield Suns.
Leading off, Chad Shade, batting second being Thomas Hughes. Brian McHale had plenty of activity in the top half of the first. Let's see what he can do. Hitting third, bottom half. Cleanup will be Hedrick Sullivan with Dylan Faircloth hitting fifth. Dave Matthews bats sixth. Jack Kalumovic will bat seventh, followed up by Hunter Hudson. The order is finished off by Nolan Cloutier, and they will go to work against Justin Snyder of the Nashua Silver Knights, who, as we found out very recently, Billy, actually we didn't know he was going to be starting until roughly 20 minutes ago, I believe.
Roughly is a great way to say that because that, again, Jeff Mossow was a late scratch, and now the lefty Snyder is going to be hurling to his backstop Caparis. From third to third, you have Gioni, Morissette, Biddison, Vermonti, and from left to right, Costello, Tyree, White. And that being said, again, the Suns going to have to go against the lefty hurler Snyder as opposed to, I believe, the righty Mossow. No, lefty as well, excuse me. So either way, it's a lefty they're facing off against him. And I want to make up for the last game that we called here, which was, Thursday's game. Austin White, who is residing in right field, as well as Alexander White. They're both cousins. And that was my mistake for assuming no relation. But the good news is it's a little bit of a non-family affair this time go around because, Alexander White's not in the starting lineup. Not to say he won't be able to get into the contest in the later innings, but at least at this point he is not. But here's a hometowner. Right fielder number 18, Chad Shea, going to start off the home half offensively for the Suns.
Looking at Chad Shea on the year, a little bit down in batting as of recent, as he's hitting just .223, driven in 8 runs with 12 walks to a team leading, or rather second on the team with 32 strikeouts. Team leader being Dave Matthews with 33.
Pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. Count here is 0-1 to Chad Shea. Snyder with the 0-1. Kicks and deals as this one's nubbed off the end of the bat. And, trying to snare that, but to no avail. It's actually going to be Luke Dawson on the bench. Count is 0-2 here for Snyder. He kicks and deals. That one hit him. Or it did not. Looked like it did.
It looked like maybe Chad Shade jumped over it or something.
Yeah, usually we see players limboing out of the way, but this one, it looks like it jumped over it. I thought it did because it greened and it looked like it took a bounce. Must have been just the curve on the ball with the dirt.
Talk about a true skip to my Lou.
The 1-2, snared there by Snyder. Throw over to first in time, one gone.
An impressive snare from Snyder, who really had to react to it being hit off of Shade's bat just barely in his range. Feeling that cleanly with his glove and then the good throw on to first is going to make it an impressive first out.
Second baseman number 30, Thomas Hughes, the true utility two-way player. The only thing he hasn't done this season, at least, we saw him do it a few years past, is play the outfield or catch. Everything else he's done.
He also hasn't hit for particularly impressive numbers as he's hitting just .194 with a homer. He has 9 RBI with 10 walks and 10 strikeouts. But yes, Billy, Thomas Hughes has really debatably been the team's best relief pitcher over the last month or so.
Pitch was on the outside corner. The count here is 0-1. As the next pitch, outside does get the generous call on the outside corner, now 0-2. And yeah, looking at Hughes as well, he's only got 3 errors when he's been playing 5 positions. That's a smart line to see.
And again, I would like you to look at his pitching lines this year.
This one nubbed on the third base line. Third baseman Gioni throws over to first, and that was in time for the second out of the inning.
Well fielded from Goyon on that one as he makes the good pick and throws on a very strong, accurate throw. A long throw to make from third to first, but he makes it easy for the second out of the inning.
Shortstop number 5, Brian McHale. The all-star shortstop will dig in as a number 3 batter against the lefty Snyder, who hurls the first pitch, and it's snubbed to his own position. Snare by Morissette. Throws over to first, and the all-star grounds out to his all-star counterpart, Morissette. That will end the inning as it is a perfect first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. A 1-2-3 inning. In the meantime, we head through one full inning of play. To the top of the second we go. Currently, it is 2-0. The Silver Knights lead the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your book.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Back to live action, and the top of the second is blasted deep to left, but right there is going to be Cloutier, and he will get the first pitch first out here in the top of the second for the left fielder number 25, Jeff Costello. It's a hard hit ball, Andrew.
A great motivation boost for Coley as well, as again off to a rough start, giving up 2 runs to the first batters he faced, but seemingly settling in ever since.
This will be the center fielder number 1, Luke Tyree, batting from the left-hand side.
We'll look at Luke Tyree on the season, just a .230 hitter, driven in 14 runs with 18 walks to a team-leading 30 strikeouts.
A check swing, but it does go off the end of the bat, so that's going to be a foul ball, not what Tyree wanted. Count here is 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That one hit practically the same spot, except Cloutier's going to have to run in this time. And now another out collected by Cloutier and left. You think he's busy out there, Andrew?
Just like Brian McHale was last inning.
Very true. Brings up the third baseman, number 23, Max Goyon.
Looking at Goyon for the season, just a 175 hitter, 5 RBI with 8 walks to 11 strikeouts.
Tolley with the windup and the pitch. That one runs low for a ball. Count is 1-0. After a slow start out of the gate, here's the 1-0. Good pitch as this one curves just at the kneecaps on the outside corner. Great location. The count is 1-1. After a slow start within the first 3 batters faced, surrendering 2 runs. The pitch high, now 2-1. Tolley is looking like he's improving here, at least with getting his command, as we saw flashed in the last 2/3 of last inning. 2-1. Hot shot towards third. Great glove there from Kalumovic. He'll throw over to first with a strong dart, and that will quickly end the inning with less than 10 pitches hurled.
An efficient inning from Tolley. It's too bad he gave up those 2 runs already, but he's looking a lot better.
We head through 1.5 to the bottom of the second as the top half had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the second upcoming. Speaking of 2s, it's 2-0. Silver Knights lead it. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
You suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work. Now there's help. Ham Radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about Ham Radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham Radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
The bottom of the second we are now as the Nashua Silver Knights currently lead it by a score of 2-0. A hot start there for the Silver Knights. Really starting to get into desperation mode because right now they are locked out of getting a first place, or I should say not first place, but a first round bye. They are locked out.
Okay, yes, they I mean, now it may be mathematical, but I mean, I think it's been the case for quite some time.
But with that being said, right now they're at least just trying to get into the playoffs. Again, they're on the outside looking in. But right now the Pittsfield Suns, they are again trying to secure a first-round home game, if not a first-round bye. But here's the first baseman, number 38, the cleanup hitter, Patrick Sullivan, leading off the second. The first pitch he sees in the lefty versus lefty matchup is outside, 1-0.
Sullivan, a 302 hitter, blasted it off once with 11 RBI, 23 walks to 16 strikeouts.
Great ratio as here's the 1-0, excuse me. On the first base side, just rolls down the foul line, but eventually does go fully foul. And now it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
By no means a power hitter, Billy, but Sullivan has been pretty consistent with the team this season.
Yes, he has. Consistently walks every 1, if not 2 games. As the 1-1 just misses outside, if not low. Now 2-1.
Well, Billy, 25 games, 23 walks. That would support your sentiment.
Here's a pitch. That one does hit the lower outside corner this time. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And for a player to average a 1 walk per game, that is fantastic. Actually, if you include his hit by pitches, yes, he's 1 for 1, including a walk, that being a hit by pitch on top, to a game played. This one's skied out to left. Costello going to get it underneath this one, and that will be the first out of the inning.
Well, no walks on that at bat with a swing like that, but hard to blame Patrick Sullivan. It's just kind of Wacona Park for you in general. Fly balls are really no good in this park.
Designated hitter for tonight's contest, number 14, all-star outfielder, Dylan Faircloth.
Faircloth, a 285 hitter, a couple homers and 18 RBI, walked 10 times to 18 strikeouts. And Billy, that line looks eerily similar to Drew DiMartino's, as really Faircloth just has 3 less strikeouts and virtually everything else is the exact same on the season.
Down the right field line, this one's popped up, but that will eventually go all the way foul out of play. Count here is 0-1.
Coincidentally, which of those 2 players pretty much automatically got into the All-Star game and which of the 2 had to be voted in?
With a record of, I believe it was 20,951 votes.
Certainly deserved off of merit.
The 0-1 bounces in for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 man gone. Faircloth, wow, looking at that line, it's a little scary to see. For the bruising, that is, as this one's nubbed further in fair territory down the right field line, but this one is caught by Austin White. Just hung out there to dry, and White was already right there to put that in the laundry basket. with 2 men gone, brings up the center fielder, number 20, Dave Matthews.
He had a good, clean catch on that one as well. Looking at Dave Matthews on the season, Dave Matthews is a little bit cold lately, as now he's only batting .253. Still leads the team with 3 homers, along with 13 RBI, walking 8 times to a team-leading 33 strikeouts.
Wanted to mention that Fairclough is tied for 4th in the league by hit by pitch with 8.
Ouch.
Pitch just clips the outside corner against the lefty Matthews. Count is 0-1.
It's not that way anymore, Billy, but it used to be, or it was, I think it was about a month and a half ago, Fairclough had more hit by pitches himself than every other player on the team combined.
Yeah, that was the case, as this one's cut on and missed there by Matthews, chasing low and outside curveball.
Even more than Nunez, which, given how Nunez crowds the plate all the time, I always found that to be incredible. You would figure that he would be the one with that number.
Here's 0-2. Cut on and miss for strike 3. 1-2-3. Down goes Matthews. And that will end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Suns. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head through 2 full innings of play now to the top of the 3rd as the Pittsfield Suns trail the Nashua Silver Knights by a score of 2-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
First pitch was in there for a called strike. Next pitch was low and outside here to the catcher, number 9, Joe Capri. This one's blasted to deep left. Going back here is Cloutier. It's going to fall between the center and left fielders. Dave Matthews has it. He's going to play to third with a smart throw. Cut off by the shortstop. And that is going to be a leadoff double there for Joe Capri, bringing up the leadoff hitter. Now Austin White.
Well, so much for getting into a bit of a groove, totally retiring the side in order in the 2nd inning, but allowing a leadoff blast to Caparis, which again puts him in trouble with another runner in scoring position.
So leadoff hitter Austin White. Hot shot single to center his last time up. From the stretch, Tolley, with the pitch. Flashes bunt, and it's a beauty. That's going to advance the runner. The pitcher will throw over to first, but not in time. It'll go down as a sacrifice single for Austin White. And now runners on the corners, and his speedy White on first don't necessarily put the double play into effect.
So that was really, really, really well done, and I don't think Tolley or the Suns defense actually expected it, but it was a brilliantly thought-out play that moves the runner over 90 feet. Well done.
Beautifully placed bunt. And now there's runners on the corners for the second baseman, number 2, Nick Biddison, an RBI triple his last time up. Here's the pitch. That one well high. Good snare there from Hudson. It nearly went all the way back to the backstop. Count here is 1-0.
They had a fantastic second inning, but again, getting into trouble here in the third after giving up a couple runs back in the first.
The 1-0. That one popped up going into deep center. That's going to score the run here. Matthews nearly back to the warning track. He will throw into second and prevent two men from advancing. A sacrifice, another one for the Nashua Silver Knights, and another RBI for Biddison. It's now 3-0 Silver Knights.
Have a game if you're Biddison. 2 RBI here early, again extending the Nashua lead to 3-0. Kind of a bit of deja vu for Pelly, who dealt with largely the same thing, only a double this inning instead of a triple back in the first.
The shortstop, number 8, Cody Morris, said more than unlikely than likely will he not continue what he did last time, a sacrifice to left. With the runner on first, extremely doubtful. The runner does go, however, on the hit and run attempt, and that one is fouled off.
Yeah, there would likely have to be some type of error for that to happen.
Well, not necessarily. I remember Albert Pujols a few years ago over the Angels hit a shot to center. The center fielder caught it, hit the wall, and was hurt. The runner scored from second and third and accounted for a rare 2 RBI sacrifice.
I'm talking
Pickoff over to first, just barely in time.
I'm talking specifically from first base. Like,
yes,
you'd have to
I don't think it's ever happened.
You would have to
another pickoff over to first, back in safety.
You'd have to pretty much crash into the wall, and I of course you don't want this happening. You pretty much have to suffer some type of injury of some sort in order for that to give the runner the time to make that type of move.
Here's a pitch. That one is high for a ball. 1 strike, 1 gone, 1 in.
Of course, for as unique as a sacrifice fly RBI from first would be, we would certainly not want to see that. Yeah, the runner at first taking a pretty modest lead.
This one a hot shot going to second. No tag. They flip over to second, but no one's there. And that one's going to go down as a fielder's choice.
Well, a bit of a miscommunication there, but the play kind of bang. They try the hit and run, and they almost got doubled up. It was really just a couple different moves away from getting doubled up on a hit and run, which you don't really see particularly often. But fortunately for the Silver Knights, they don't have any go down on the play.
So now runners on first and second with 1 gone. Watch out for White on second. He can't steal third. LaBelle takes this one high for a ball. Down here is 1-0. That one hits the outside corner. Count now is 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 gone. The 1-1 is in on the hands. Swung on and missed, however. 1-2 is the count here to LaBelle.
As we know, Billy LaBelle really has a scary swing. It's just that the swing doesn't have great form to it. It was a really awful swing.
A non-pickoff throw over to second, but a good job of clearing the leg past the rubber.
Oftentimes with Billy, we see pitchers in the FCBL really tread the line with a balk with a move like that, but good job from Tolley not doing the same.
Yeah, he did not come to a complete stop, headed over towards second. Pitch misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man gone. It's already 3-0 here in the top of the third. The Nashua Silver Knights lead the Suns. Trying to prevent more damage. Here's the pitch. Swung on, looping into right. Back there is Shade. He will make the grab. The runner on second will advance over to third. So a non-sacrifice in the books, but more or less pretty much the same. Now 2 men gone with runners on the corners.
Hit well and deep to at least do something on the play. With a base knock now, they would extend their lead.
Now here's the first baseman, number 37, Joe Primanti. He grounded out to short to end the first. Tolley trying to prevent further damage. Here's a pitch. Curveball in there. Called strike, 0-1. The 0-1 swung on foul back. Now the count here is 0-2. With Talley having a 0-2 count, he does have at least one pitch he can work with as a waste pitch. Unless he wants to go directly at him.
Wouldn't be a bad idea, but of course you don't want to put something right over the plate. He's giving up a lot of hard contact.
Swung on a miss for strike 3, makes him chase outside, preventing further damage. And that is the first strikeout in the ball game for Ryan Tolley. Tolley. 1 run off 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We head now to the bottom of the third. The Silver Knights now leading by a score of 3-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one, or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Madewell, Andrew Belarchin here at Paul Outfield at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Right now we head to the bottom of the third. Currently, it is a 3-0 lead for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights. We'll lead off here at the bottom of the third with the third baseman, number 1, Jack Hlumovic, batting from the left-hand side.
Hlumovic hitting an underwhelming 194 on the year. Driven in 9 runs with 8 walks to 14 strikeouts.
And with that being said, he has actually had the most success when it comes to the home run derbies, Andrew.
Yes, it is. That much has been actually kind of surprising to me.
Pitch is in there for a called strike on the lower outside corner, 0-1. It's not to say that Hlumovic can hit.
No, he can. He definitely can.
He can hit. And he can hit homers. He hasn't in game time, which is, again, that's one thing. But just to see Hlumovic, well, that one's not going to do it. Pulling the string there is Snyder, so now it's 0-2. But to see someone who's been struggling at the plate all season long be the only man to have really any sort of success in the home run derby, it is, I want to say, unorthodox or unforeseen. Pitch goes over to Vermonti. He'll step on first himself for a 3 unassisted putout.
And I would like to reiterate my stance. We need to petition to have Jack Hlumovic face off against Jake LaBelle in a home run derby.
I'm not too sure about that.
Bring it on, LaBelle. We got Hlumovic.
Hlumovic, I like you, but LaBelle...
Gonna take that trophy from him.
LaBelle's got raw power.
I would put money on Hlumovic. I really would.
Catcher number 7, Hunter Hudson, will take in. Probably your son's salary for the year, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes, 100% of it. 100% of it. I'm telling you.
The pitch is outside. 1-0 here to Hunter Hudson.
Hunter Hudson, a fairly new face here. Played in just 3 games. A .286 hitter. That's 2 for 7 with an RBI and 3 strikeouts.
Pitch. Just the final shred of that baseball in the seam hit the outside corner. Count here, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 gone. Snyder, the lefty, with the 1-1. This one golfed in between third and short. Forehand grab by the shortstop. Morissette throw over to first. Not in time. The throw was offline. And that is going to go down as an error on the shortstop, Morissette. Now this is going to bring up the left fielder, number 23, Nolan Cloutier.
A look at Cloutier, turning things around as of late. He is a .259 hitter, blasted 2 homers to 6 RBI, walking 5 times to 18 strikeouts.
Pitch. This one hit into left field fairly hard, but right there is the left fielder Costello. So the left fielder outs himself with a fly ball to his own position. And now this will bring up with 2-man gun, a runner on first, Chad Shade. Chad Shade, a grounder to the pitcher's first time up. So for Shade, just trying to turn things around here in the second half as the Suns try to get into the playoffs.
More importantly, the Suns tried to push a run across or something along those lines to the Silver Knights, who put one up in the top of the third.
Well, if they keep getting pitches like that, I think they will succeed. The pitch well outside. Count here is 1-0.
It's been an aberration here from Justin Snyder so far, who's really had a solid outing so far.
Here's a 1-0. That one, a hot shot past the pitcher, and a tweener goes into center, and holding up on second is going to be Hudson.
Well, there you go. That's how you do it. Right back from where it came, and literally on a dime getting through the infield for the Suns, who finally get their first base hit of the game.
That being said, it took 9 batters because Justin Snyder, he went through the first way through the lineup, nearly perfect, only gave up an error. This one is single into center. We'll bring up Thomas Hughes. Hughes looking to turn things around the second half as well. Sure, he's been fantastic pitching in the first half, but the batting needs to improve as well. Great snare there somehow from Capras. I don't know how he Houdini'd that one because it looked like it knuckled at the last second.
Yeah, Hughes has had plenty of success fielding and, of course, a lot of success pitching, but he could get that bat going. Oh, boy, Billy, would he be quite the asset to this Suns team. And frankly, he already is, but he would be an even greater one to the team if he could get his bat going. Billy, we have a lot of cloud cover in the sky. I think maybe
we may dodge one again.
That would be great.
Pitch is high and away. The count here is 2-0.
To legitimately dodge.
We've only had 6 sun delays, which is a very low number this far in the season.
Wow.
Very, very low.
I'm actually kind of surprised by that.
2-0. That one's in there, a called strike. Now 2 balls and 1 strike.
Pretty soon we're going to have to change your team name, Billy, eh?
What, to the Pittsfield Clouds?
Sure, the Pittsfield Clouds, and we're going to start having cloud delays now, right?
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Pitch down the right field line, foul. That one looks like it's going to go out of play and does not actually. Stays in play, but out of the reach there of White.
Oh, I thought I saw a fan corral that from over the wall, and I was going to say, like, wow, what a catch. Oh, well. They ought to give it to the fan who almost caught it.
Agreed. From the stretch, Snyder with a 2-2. This one, oh, did he shatter his bat? Yeah, he did. I saw something go one way and another. With that, it was the bat that shattered and went towards the Suns' dugout, and the ball squibbed down the first base line but stayed in the grass, did not go back fair. So it'll go down as a foul ball and a snapped stick. And we'll have Hughes with a slight delay, grabbing a new stick of lumber.
That one's for the fire in the winter. Got a pelt stove at home.
The average sun delay this season thus far has been 22.5 minutes.
It's about par for the course, really, I would say.
It really is. 2-2. Swung on, fouled out first base side. Catcher realizing a little too late that one's well out of play, actually bangs off the roof.
Hey, you know what? Can't fault him for the effort. He's not Gary Sanchez.
Wow. You played that one well, Andrew. You played that one well. I'm going to give you a good hand there, which is one more hand than Sanchez had today.
Yes.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone, 2 men on, and Snyder with a pitch well inside, and another fantastic snare from Capris, avoiding the pass ball or wild pitch. It's now a full count, and the runners will be off with a pitch. Hudson off second, over on first will be Shade.
Great job defensively from Capris.
Runners off the payoff. Swung on into right center field. Incoming is the center fielder, Tyree. And on the dead run, he will prevent runs from scoring. So in the inning, the Suns collect their first base hit, but no runs off 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left. We head now through 3 full to the top of the 4th, with the Silver Knights leading the Suns by a score of 3-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days? Using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham Radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about Ham Radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham Radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
Lowest prices in town. Dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
Huge selection. Enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
See store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Top of the 4th, it'll be the 6, 7, 8 batters due up. And those 3 men, well, it was a perfect second for Ryan Tolley his last time up, as he got all 3 men out by a fly out to left, and a grounder to third, respectively, between Costello, Tyree, and Goyon. So left fielder number 25, Jeff Costello, not going to try to recreate his last time up, as here is the first pitch. That one just runs low for a ball, 1-0.
He's definitely not going to after taking that first pitch.
Fouled on the right field side on a bloop foul, but unable to spot that one was Sullivan off the bat.
I don't think he saw that. I think it was a single.
No, it was a late break. I don't think he saw that coming off the bat.
No, I mean, I'm saying that because it landed like right next to his cleat and he ran a good like 3 steps past it.
Here's a 1-1. That one runs low. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody gone. Here in the top of the 4th. Pitch. Big cut and miss there. And I don't know if that was a changeup per se, but it was definitely a slow fastball, it looked like. It didn't seem like a slower ball like a changeup. But either way, it's a swing and miss, bringing it now to 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, whatever it was, to say Casella got fooled is a grave understatement.
Tolley with 2 shakeoffs. The 2-2 is nubbed into right field. Shade right underneath that one, and he collects the out.
Looking back at that swing, though, Costello like contorted his body to the point of taking a complete 180 on that one, and it looked like he actually had trouble swinging the bat, like the bat was weighing him down. That's how you knew he tried to hold back, but it just wasn't happening for him.
But Costello didn't even read off his stats because, well, he was out pretty quickly for the first 2 times up. 269 batter, 3 homers, 11 RBI, so a big threat, and he's down. Here's Tyree with the first pitch. Does hit the inside corner against the lefty. Count here is 0-1. Tolley now with the 0-1. Fastball, this one into shallow left. Cloutier will get underneath it, and he'll make the catch, and it looks like he dropped his hat as someone must have kicked up underneath the brim to knock that one out. And now bringing up the third baseman, number 23, Max Goyon, after Tyree duplicates his first time at bat with another fly out to left.
Speaking of duplications, Billy, look at your score sheet right now. Look at the first and third innings, and then look at the second and fourth. Now, how I don't know if
with
that's,
one extra batter in the third, yes, that's very eerie.
Yes.
Here's the third baseman, number 23, Max Goyon, taking a pitch outside, yet it's called strike. And the count here is 0-1.
Almost mirroring each other.
Here's the 0-1. Well outside, no debate. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men gone. Now the 1-1. Big cut and miss there. Beautiful curve there from Tolley. And now the count 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 men gone here in the top of the 4th.
You know, guys are getting fooled when we've seen multiple swings like that, like he's lugging the bat around like it's a club.
And that one shook off 2 more signs. With a final nod, he gets the strikeout, and that is his second on the ball game. Duplicating the second inning, it's the exact same effect. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We head now through 3.5 to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0, the Silver Knights lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Did you know the third leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
It is the bottom of the 4th in the heart of the order. McHale, Sullivan, and Faircloth, the all-star trio, is currently 0 for 3. Only each of them up to bat once. First pitch is low for a ball. The count here is 1-0 as the sun's starting to get behind that cloud cover, underneath the cloud cover, I should say.
Yeah.
So it's really in there. We may get a sun delay. Can't confirm it.
Looking like we probably will.
The 1-0. This one snared to his own position at short. More set gloves. Throws over to first in time. One gone. But then again, we haven't had one since, well, July 8th.
Wow, that's for 2 weeks. That doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No.
It is, if anything, Billy, we might be looking at a wind delay.
Well, if there's ever a thing.
Okay,
First baseman number 38, Patrick Sullivan, flew out to the left his last time up.
Okay, certainly of course I'm exaggerating that, but boy, is it windy.
And boy, is it sunny. That's really starting to kick down. Here's the first pitch in the lefty versus lefty matchup. Fouled off. Count is 0-1. So again, the windup here from Snyder in the 0-1. Low on the outside part of the plate, just barely. The count now 1 ball, 1 strike. Snyder again, now the 1-1. This one, Snyder between first and second, takes a hop. Second baseman grabs it off that hop as it's suspended in midair there by Biddison. And he'll collect the out, but it looks like he's shaken up a little bit as he created a divot in the outfield. And here comes B.J. Nubbert. He's going to check on Biddison. But, Andrew, that was a fantastic play.
A fantastic play, but also a little bit lucky, as I really don't think they would have had the out there were it not for that hop. As you said, Billy, the hop kind of suspended it and prevented it from going any further into the shallow right field, and that was the difference between allowing a base hit and getting him to go.
He's going to stay in there, of course. So it's first baseman there, Vermonti, repairing the divot. He was just caught in between. He wasn't sure whether to slide, dive, so he went down to his knees with a soccer slide, but, well, not going to do it in the outfield here. Looks like he's okay. We'll hope that he'll be okay, as the first pitch to Faircloth is in there for a called strike. Rather, Sullivan was the last man up, not Faircloth. Faircloth with a called, swinging strike. Pitch. That one kicks up some dirt, then kicks back up some dirt. The catcher there, Capris, picks some up on the way from corralling that ball, so now it's 1-1 strike.
Well, Capris is taking a beating behind there at the plate, and now he has to deal with that. Jeez, catcher has got to be the most thankless position in baseball.
1-1. Pitch is outside. Count now is 2-1. Well, you can't say effortless.
No, you certainly
unless
can't.
you're someone from the other night who we've already mentioned previously. That or, well, a certain Mr. Turner.
Oh, boy, we're going to be egging on them all night.
2-1, snare to short. Morissette will forehand it on his far right side and collect the out. That will end the inning. In the inning, it's a perfect inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. To 4 full, 3-0. Silver Knights lead it. To the top of the fifth we go. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
We head to the top of the fifth as we say, come and get your love. Well, the Cavaliers say, come and stay with some love. Kevin Love, Andrew, your Cavaliers grabbing a big contract with a Mr. Love.
Yes. Good job, Billy. Good job.
There's nothing I can do. It could not have been set up more perfect. Now, that being said, what was the deal?
4 years for $120 million.
It is Mr. Love's team now and no longer Mr. James.
Oh, it's been that way. Like, once LeBron left, it was like, okay, yep, this is Kevin Love's team.
I thought it was JR's.
Right, yes. JR apparently doesn't remember who he plays for, though.
Here's the catcher number 9, Joe Capris. Leadoff single leadoff double into left center field his last time up to lead off the third.
Capris very quietly having a great game defensively, and he had a pretty nice double back in that third inning. So he's really having a game to remember for himself today.
Yeah, that sounds really dipping down. I'm surprised home plate umpire hasn't called it, but again, that's his call. Pitch runs low for a ball. Count here 1-0.
As long as he didn't take advice from Mark Irish, we're perfectly fine.
Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball that's in there for a ball right down the middle. Count is 2-0. That one kicks up some dirt, no doubt about it. So it's a 3-0. And the pitch is low. And now he has to confirm with home plate umpire if that was ball 4. It wasn't, but it was. Brings up right fielder number 19, Austin White. A couple singles on the day for him as well as a run score, including a bunt single his last time up. So infield's got to play it in, but we'll see if this is going to get called for a sun delay. It really is down there. Here's the first pitch. That one runs high and in.
Inning-to-inning consistency has been a bit of a problem for Toley today.
Here's the 1-0. Big kind of miss there as this one dropped low. I believe that was a sinker.
Have we seen that from him today?
No.
Wow, okay. Well, speaking of inning-to-inning consistency.
Well, that, again, it was, I'm going to say it was a sinker, even though it wasn't a changeup because it was fast. Flashes bunt, and the pitch is low. 2-1.
And again, Billy, pretty much untouchable in the second and fourth inning. Ran into a lot of trouble in the first and third. Walked the leadoff hitter in the fifth and already fallen behind White here.
Well, hopefully not. Odd innings are bad. He just wants to stay consistent and get runners out. 2-1. Pitch in there on the upper inside corner. Great location there on the changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody gone. Runner on first. And Joe Capris, the catcher, the number 9 hitter,
kind of
resides on first.
Kind of like the San Francisco Giants in the early 20 teens, only every other inning.
This one a hot shot, and they roll it going into right field, and it is a single. I thought there'd be interference. There is not. Sullivan tried to grab it. I thought he was interfered with because he had to hold up because the runner was in his way, but they will not rule that, and it will go down as a base hit into right.
I don't see that type of scenario come up in baseball too often, but I think you would make a compelling case for there to have been interference on that one, Billy.
Second baseman number 2, Nick Biddison. 2 RBI on the day. He's 1 for 1. A triple and a run scored and a sacrifice fly. Corner infielders are in. And the pitch. Well outside. Good snare there from Hudson. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody gone. They will trade 2 for 1 with a runner advancing to third, which in this case would be Joe Capris. But they have to get into that situation first.
It'd be difficult with Biddison, who hasn't grounded out at all today.
1-0, high fly ball deep to left. Going back here is Cloutier. He will make the catch. He ran in first and about, I would say, not even 5 feet away from the wall. The wind nearly carried that one out.
Yeah, I was thinking off the bat, like, this one might have a shot, and I was, like, waiting and watching, maybe thinking, oh, do we have a 3-run blast? And it was really, really close. Well hit ball, but not quite enough.
Here's a shortstop, number 8, Cody Morris. Said he's 0 for 1. A sacrifice fly in the left in the first. And then a bouncer to second. With a runner on first, they flip over to second. No one covered, but he would have been in there anyway. That being Austin White. So it went down as a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. Called strike 0-1. Isaiah Mestre warming up in the pen here for the Suns.
I haven't seen him here at McClellan Park in a little while.
Here's the 0-1. Beautiful changeup there. Hits the outside corner. Now it's 0-2. The 0-2. Swung on deep into center. Actually, shallow into center. It's going to bloop down for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner as Matthews. Oh. He overran it and tried to snare barehanded miss. The runner would have come around. He would have scored. So that is a bloop single.
Yeah,
Looked farther than it actually was.
That one dangerous there for the Suns defense, but thankfully the Silverhawks didn't try to gamble on anything. If Matthews had fielded that cleanly in such a scenario, I'm pretty sure he would have gunned him down at home, but he did not. And, well, they're lucky the Silverhawks didn't try to extend anything.
It's going to load the bases here. And, oh boy, designated hitter number 21, Jake LaBelle, 2018 FCBL Home Run Derby champion, going to dig in with the bases loaded, and they already lead it 3-0. So right now, Toley is in dire straits here. With one man gone, you got nowhere to put LaBelle, but you only have one out. So a hard hit ball, try to turn it, but softly hit enough, and you think you have the play, go home.
Going to be a tough one for Toley here. This is clearly not a guy you just serve one up down the middle to, but as you said, Billy, with nowhere to put him, he's got to go right after LaBelle. Toley has been hit very, very hard, not just in this game, but in his time with the Suns.
First pitch swung over to short. This could be 2. Over to Hughes for 1. Over to first for a double play, and an inning-ending double play with the bases loaded.
That was huge.
So with a 6-4-3 double play, that ends the threat. No runs with 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We head through 4.5 to the bottom of the 5th. The Nashua Silver Knights leading 3-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Center fielder number 20, Dave Matthews, has been struggling at the plate recently. He's in a bit of a slump here. But right now, he's trying to turn things around, already 0 for 1 on 3 pitches, 3 strikes.
Leading the team at 34 strikeouts, an ugly number. But also leading the team with 3 homers, so not such an ugly number at that.
Pitch is low for a ball, 1-0.
More or less just a reminder that, Matthews can rake. When he does get wood on the thing, it can go places. That's just more of a win.
Pitch is fouled off. Down here is 1 ball, 1 strike. He had a career game on July 6th at Nashua, going 5 for 5, tying the FCBL record for hits in a ball game as the pitch misses low and outside. Count here is now 2 balls and 1 strike. But since he's only had 2 hits in 5 games, and that is 2 for 20. Ouch.
Oof, that's
this one off the inside part of his hands, and just a tough luck liner over to Ramonti, and that one's a line out. To the first baseman.
Not so much tough luck on that one. That one in on the hands, really just a poor swing from Matthews. He was lucky that it took a great play to rob, I guess, air quotes, rob him of a base hit, but really a swing like that didn't deserve a base hit.
Third baseman, number 1, Jack Kolumovic. Speaking of outs over at first, well, he had an unassisted grounder over to first.
Billy, it looks like we're probably, if not definitely, going to dodge a sun delay today.
Pitch is low on the outside part of the plate. The count here is 1-0.
Yeah, looks like we've got good enough cloud cover. The sun finally beginning to set. Looking like we're going to get lucky today.
Possibly. We've been lucky for the past 2 weeks.
So we
popped up into shallow right center field. The center fielder's right there, and he will collect the out, that being Tyree.
Ever since the All-Star break, the Suns' offense, except for very small bursts in very small amounts of time, it's been very difficult coming across any sort of consistent offense. Remembering the last time that the Silver Knights were here, the Suns didn't score anything until the bottom of the ninth. Of course, we had the game against North Shore. The Suns, again, didn't score anything until the bottom of the ninth. So it's been very trying for the Suns' offense as a whole.
Very stagnant.
Indeed, yes, and it's really been making it difficult on the team finding any sort of consistent success when they really can't score consistent runs.
Pitch is foul tip back into the mid there of the catcher, Capris. Count is 0-1 to number 7, the catcher, Hunter Hudson, who's 0 for 1. He reached on a throwing error by the shortstop, Morissette.
No consistent runs, consistent base runners, and there must be an issue with the baseball down there.
Yeah, they're going to get a fresh baseball there, but Again, the only thing that Snyder has given up thus far is someone reaching on a throwing error and a base hit, both of those in the third. Since and in between, he's been perfect.
He's had an outing to remember for sure.
The 0-1, that one is too far in and low. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men gone.
Looking at it, Rocks and Blues tied 0-0, bottom of the third. Not so much at Hanover Insurance Park at Pittsfield. The Bravehearts top of the fourth lead the Navigators 5-3.
Pitch was cut on a miss there by Hudson, just couldn't make contact. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We got a pitcher's duel in Bristol. Not so much a pitcher's duel in Worcester, and I don't really know what to make of this game. Sort of maybe like a happy medium.
Unfortunately, not happy for the Suns as the pitch is up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just a baseball game.
Yes. Not really.
Definitely anything. A great outing there by Justin Snyder, but the Suns, they got to turn it around here in the middle innings, going to the later innings. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, going into right center field. Well, that's a great way to do it.
There you go.
As this one drops into right center field for a base hit. A large turn there by Hudson, and he will stay put over at first, bringing up Nolan Cloutier.
Haven't seen a base hit since the third inning, just the second of the game. It's only a single, and with 2 outs on the board, moving a catcher around is going to be pretty difficult at this point, but not out of the realm of possibility.
So left fielder number 23, Nolan Cloutier, trying not to duplicate what he did last time. That's flat to his own position. Pitch misses just barely upstairs over on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, I think, Andrew, we're going to dodge that sun delay. So another day without a sun delay is another great day.
Yes, no delay to the baseball game.
1-0, it's foul behind our heads.
Of course, Billy, with the Suns' offense being, as you said, stagnant, that has actually led to some very fast games here at Wacona Park. So really a sun delay, in the past, has been occurring in like the 3rd or 4th inning. Nowadays, it's more like 5th or 6th.
The game's being pushed back a half hour. Yes, Andrew, that is the case. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off first base side, but I think this one's going to go out of play. It will.
Well, not just being delayed, not just the half an hour change, but again, like pace of play has really been a thing here at Wacona Park for quite some time, in particular since after the All-Star break.
So it'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 men gone. Hunter Hudson will step off of first as the lefty Snyder will work from the stretch. Only the 3rd such time he's done so far tonight. 1-2. Cut on a miss for strike 3. That one is going to end the inning. No runs off 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. And that is the 2nd strikeout on the ball game here for Snyder. We head through 5 full to the top of the 6th. Currently it's 3-0. Silver Knights lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball. Pittsfield Suns Baseball and the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Too bad about radio.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, since television, hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? That go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama lady-o. Who listens to radio? No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's all.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There is no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travel.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
The pitcher in the ballgame for the Suns here, that would be Isaiah Mestre, the Pittsfield native. Mestre, 9 appearances, 2 starts, primarily used as a reliever in 21 innings pitched, has given up 14 hits, 7 earned on 11 walks with 27 strikeouts, a phenomenal ratio, a win with a loss, and a 3 ERA. Also advanced to the All-Star game this year. And looking at it, that's going to do it for the starter, Ryan Tolley.
So the first baseman, number 37, Joe Bramante, is going to dig in. He's 0 for 2 thus far on the ballgame with a strikeout.
Looking at Tolley, 5 completed innings, 22 batters faced, 3 earned runs on 6 hits with a double and a triple being among them. Walked 1 with a couple strikeouts through just 68 pitches. Would have been eligible, more than eligible at that, to go out for the 6th, but Gedman looking for a fresher arm in Isaiah Mestre. And of course, at 68 pitches, Tolley is eligible to return to pitching sooner than if he had increased, I believe, 75.
This one fouled back. Count here 0-1. I believe it's now 3 games he has to rest for as opposed to 4 if he went 80 plus.
Smart move from Matt Gedman then to get a reliever.
So it'll be a 0-1 count as Mestre hurls the next pitch. Curveball. Wow, that had a lot of bite to it, but it still misses inside. But still, that had a lot of bite. It looked like it was going to get a piece there of Bramante, but doesn't, just barely. Pitch upstairs. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. And then just barely missing the strike zone on that last one. Mestre with the windup and the 2-1. Misses just outside. Now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Billy Tolley really had a rough time out of the gate, but he would settle down and ultimately gave the Suns 5 decent innings.
He came out for another inning and kept that one preserved. This one fouled off. Now it's full 3-2. Was eligible if he did come out this inning and completed it, giving up no earned runs. He would have gotten a quality start, albeit still settled for the loss at this point in time. But right now, again, the pitch count really the main focus as opposed to the stat line of quality start or not. Payoff, breaks his bat, and it's a one-hopper and eats up Kalumovic. Trying to barehand it is the shortstop. McHale cannot do so. And that one's going to go down as a base hit. That one's just a tough play, broke his bat, took a weird hop off the inside lip of where the grass meets the ground, and it ate up Kalumovic. Just a real tough play for anyone to make on such a short hop, especially the way the ball really transferred over from being in the air, then it took a weird hop. So it will go down as a base hit. Fielder number 25, Jeff Costello. He flew out twice, once to left, once to right. Flashes bunt, pulls it back as it drops in for a called strike. 0-1. Pickoff throw over to first. He's back in safely. Count here is 0-1. Pitch. That one missed inside. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Over his head. So I don't think he swung at that.
No, I don't. Other than his head swinging downward, no.
That's a great point. All's well that ends well, and that's someone not being hit in the head or anywhere else, really.
Yes.
2 balls, 1 strike. Runner on first. Nobody gone. Top of the 6th. Silver Knights lead at 3-0. Here's a pitch. Just misses the lower outside corner. Flashing a smile there as Mestre. He thought he had it. All he can do is really smile. 3-1 is the count. Mestre exhales. Here's the 3-1. Hot shot past the pitcher. Hit over to short. A flip over to second for one. Over to first. Not in time. Will go down as a 6-4 put out in a fielder's choice.
Good job getting the lead runner to ultimately prevent Nashua from gaining anything on the play. Didn't really ever have a shot at a double play off the bat as it was just not hit hard enough and it took a little bit too long to field, but it's still a good job at least securing the lead runner.
Center fielder number 1, Luke Tyree. 2 flyouts to left. Here's the pitch, bunt attempt, and it's in between third and first. Mestre has it, bare hand, throws over to first. In time, no one's covering third, however. The wheel play was not on in a smart move. And Sullivan's appealing towards first.
He does not look happy.
Not sure what the appeal is unless it was interference. But I didn't see any interference. But again, I was looking towards third as the runner was off.
Sullivan may simply just think that the throw is on time or something. He looked angry when he approached the...
He's still on first? They rolled him safe.
They did, yes.
The throw was well on time. He got him.
Yeah, it looked like they beat him out by half a step. And that
is exactly how I would describe it, Andrew. He beat him by a half step.
And it looks
that's correct.
And as I said, it looked like Sullivan was probably just appealing like, hey, how is he still safe? That may just be what Sullivan was asking.
Well, since he's sitting on first, even though, again, he looked clearly out, by rule, I have to rule this as a base hit.
That ruling in itself is about as straightforward as it gets. Of course, no real error to be had on the play, but I agree with you, Billy. I saw the safe ruling almost immediately and thought like, oh, that's a nippy play.
Another bunt that goes off the end of the bat. Bunting with 2 outs.
Bunting with 2 outs.
Excuse me, 1 out.
Well, yes.
The out was not made. Again, my apologies there. Max Goyon.
Are they going for like a suicide squeeze or something?
They must have been.
It's an interesting call.
So it's 0-1 now, fouling the foul ball. Here's the 0-1. Runner on first goes as this one smacked foul. Now the count here is 0-2. So runners on first and third. Go ahead.
Tyree is 9 for 11 on the season, stolen bases.
You got to be careful with the runner on third, that being Costello. He's also at speedster as well. Here's the 0-2. Outside, barely missing. 1-2. The runner on first goes again as this one swung on. The hit and run attempt is successful. Rounding second now will be the runner. Throwing in his shade from right, and it will be a full replacement. Runner still on the corners, but it is an RBI single by Max Goyon. It is 4-0 Silver Knights lead.
A little bit of insurance here in the top of the sixth off of that well-executed hit-and-run strategy. Works quite well. And they had the guy at first to pull that strategy off.
Now this will bring up the catcher, number 9, Joe Capris, and he is 1 for 1 with a walk, a double, and a run scored. So number 9, Joe Capris, will dig in, and the pitch. Caught on and missed for a called strike, and the count here is 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Pitch is low to number 9, catcher Joe Capris. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Suns are getting someone else up and hurling in the pen.
1-1. Misses on the inside corner low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 man gone. Runners on the corners, 1 run in. Two-one, well outside. Snap throw over to first, but the throw was offline. Sullivan able to prevent that one from going into right. So it'll be 3-1 now. Three-one. Down the third baseline foul. Kolumovic will barehand it, but he'll throw that one back over to the dugout. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 man gone. Wouldn't be surprised here if Gorion goes off with a pitch.
Really have to look for that strike 3 or at least some form of out. You ideally don't want it to be a fly ball because things are starting to get away from him here in this inning.
Gorion, no attempts for stolen bases thus far this season. He will not go. The payoff, cut on a miss for strike 3. Actually foul tip, but snared there by Hudson.
And a huge out right there from Mestre. And at the moment, in order to push across the runner at third, they'll need a base knock. And well, look at who they're bringing up to the plate.
Will be the right fielder number 19, Austin White, who is 3 for 3 with 3 one-baggers and a run scored. Of course, as a saving grace, the sun has to be in our way, in our view at least.
Isn't that great? Thankfully, I brought my hat like I always do, so it really doesn't bother me. I don't know about you, Billy.
Transitionals, brand new this year.
Right.
Pitch is low for a ball here to Austin White, cousin of Alexander White. The count is 1-0.
You've mentioned having those before. Him here position here with the Suns, I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah, speaking of saving grace, here's the 1-0. Curve, and it's in there. Called strike. Beautiful pitch from Mestre.
Speaking of saving grace,
the hometown product will see a 1-ball, 1-strike count with 2 men gone, 2 men on, runners on the corners. 4-0. The Silver Knights lead it. The 1-1. Fastball. Boy, that one went fast, but it wasn't in the strike zone. So sure, it was a nice pitch, but out of the strike zone makes it not. And 2 balls and 1 strike is the count.
Yeah, starting way outside from the moment it leaves Mestre's hand. That makes that an easy take there for White at the plate.
Mestre. 2-1. Well inside and had a late curve to it. And now it's 3-1, and you got to go after White here. Sure, you got 1 base unoccupied, and that would, well, in this case, load the bases. But yeah, Nick Biddison is due up. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a triple and 2 RBI, as well as a run scored. Here's the 3-1. Just misses high and away. That will walk. The base is loaded now.
Used to seeing Mestre have near infallible command, but really just hasn't had it this inning, loading up the bases and giving up a run. He's walked a good number of batters to this point. Rather throwing a lot of balls in general. Just kind of labored through pitching this inning.
Here's a meeting on the mound here from Brandon Shalikas. Couple games happening here in the FCBL. Well, I'll give you an update.
Right now, still a scoreless draw in Bristol as the Blues host the Rock and Rocks bottom of the 5th. The Bravehearts extend their lead in the bottom of the 4th to 8-3 over the North Shore Navigators.
Boy, the Worcester Bravehearts. Wow, 9-1 in their last 10 games, and it has been that way for quite some time. 2-game winning streak, and they're only a few games back of the heavily favored Martha's Vineyard Sharks, who led off the season, the first half that is, absolutely phenomenal.
Winners of 16 of their last 18 are the Bravehearts.
Pitch, curveball, it's in there, called strike, count is 0-1.
That is about as hot as it gets, and about the perfect time to go on that streak as well.
Mestre with the 0-1. Check swing, he does not go, and misses low and outside. On third is Tyree, second Goyon, first White. Home plate right now, Biddison. Again, he's 1 for 2 with a triple, run scored, 2 RBI in the ballgame. Pitch, great block from Hudson. Nearly went through the 5-hole. They gave up a run.
This really just doesn't have it today, I don't think. It's location and command in general has just been a struggle today.
Here's a windup. And a 2-1. Cut on and miss. Big fastball there from Mestre, who does locate there. And with that, it would have been on the upper inside corner. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone. 2, the second batter in the order, number 2, second baseman Nick Biddison. Deuces wild up coming here for Mestre. Here's the windup. And the deuces wild. Curveball swung on and missed. And again, they get out of the jam with the bases loaded. And they only give up 1 run this time off of 3 hits, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. 4-0, the Silver Knights lead it here now through 5.5 going to the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Suns down right now by a score of 4-0. They head to the bottom of the 6th, but the top of the order. Right fielder number 18, Chad Shade will dig in. A single his last time up. And that's only one of 2 hits the Suns have thus far. The only other hit came last inning. Hunter Hudson with a base knock.
Yes, and again, the seemingly overdone narrative getting to be like a broken record player of the offense just being generally lifeless today. Only 2 hits on the entire ball game. Really, the pitching hasn't been spot on, but it's been good enough where this should be a much tighter ball game. The Suns just haven't done anything to Justin Snyder.
Shade looking to get on base here as the first pitch. Takes it on the outside corner, 0-1. Shade, if he's on base, well, look out. He can certainly steal a bag or 2.
Leading the team in stolen bases.
The 0-1 is low for a ball. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. And he's up there in the league lead as well. At least close up there. Shade is in 4th place. 17. Pitch outside. Called strike as this one's 3 inches off.
All right then.
So the ball called strike makes it 1-2. Pitch. A check swing does not go. They will appeal. He did not go.
The right call. I don't really think it was particularly close. We're not talking Mexico League stuff at this point. I know, you roll your eyes at that, Billy. I don't blame you.
The reason why they got suspended for the rest of the season. 2-2 off the end of the bat, foul. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Oh, boy. That changed the way I look at check swings pretty much forever.
He did check his swing all the way around, and it was safe that he didn't hit anyone, I suppose. The 2-2 is tapped in between third and short. Morissette has it. Throws over to first. In time by a half step. Another great play there from the all-star shortstop Morissette. And now the count is with 1 man gone, bringing up the second baseman number 30, Thomas Hughes. He's 0 for 2 on the day.
And much like Chad Shade going for that first base tag, Billy, that was an extreme reach on your end right there.
Here's a grounder to third, fly out to center. Here's a pitch from Snyder. It's in there for a called strike. Count is 0-1. The 0-1. That one chops low and kicks off the leg there of the catcher, Capras. 1 ball, 1 strike here. Snyder looking like he can go another inning or two. 67 pitches, 46 for strikes. As that one's out of the zone. Well, he can go at least this inning and next. I don't think he'll go 8+. Definitely not going to go the distance unless, well, everyone swings at the very first pitch. Not quite Gage Feeney-esque, as this one is nubbed off the first base side foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talking about Gage Feeney going 8 1/3, nearly having a complete game shutout. And with the pitch count rules here in the FCBL, that is the tallest of tasks to complete.
Indeed, with you only having 90 pitches to work with.
This one goes foul, and now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. It remains with 1 man gone. And right now for Hughes, he's looking to either put the ball in play or get a couple more continuation foul balls up in the pitch count there of Snyder, trying to get against their bullpen. Here is a 2-2. Swung on, popped up, over towards Morset in short. It's on the outfield grass, and he'll reach up and collect the out for the second out of the inning.
Awesome, on an off note, an awesome bat flip from Thomas Hughes on that pop out. That was you don't see that very often.
The shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale, has given his counterpart Morset quite a day. He's 0 for 2, both outs towards his own position. Pitch fouled off.
Opposite direction with his counterpart on that one.
Here's the 0-1 outside for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball and the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Madewell, Andrew Belargin, called outfield at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. 4-0. Nashua Silver Knights lead the Pittsfield Suns in the bottom of the 6th. With 2 men gone, the 1-1 pitch drops low for a ball. Now 2-1 from the starter, Justin Snyder, to the third hitting shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale. Here's a windup and the 2-1. Hot shot into left field for a base hit. Third base hit of the ball game here for the Suns, and well placed there for the all-star shortstop McHale, who really needed to get things going here for the Suns with some 2-out hitting.
The offense in general really needs to get things going. Finally, another base hit. Just 3 on the day for the Suns. Really have to check off the cobwebs at some point.
Here's the pitch. Cut on a miss there from Sullivan, actually foul tipped. Count is 0-1 here to Patrick Sullivan. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Only Hudson, Shade, and McHale have base hits, all of them singles.
We haven't really been able to apply any sort of pressure against Snyder today.
Well, that one's just a fantastic pitch. Lower outside corner to a T in the zone. 0-2.
Only one time where they had a runner in scoring position, and funny enough, that was actually Hunter Hudson who reached off an error, not a base hit.
Well, he reached second on a base hit, but yeah, he reached base on an error. Pitch misses lone outside. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's a 1-2. Low again, as well as outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good eye there from the all-star first baseman. They got someone warming up in the pen here for the Silver Knights. And I believe that is number 30. In that case, pitch fouled back. As I was saying, Dan Shaw, it looks like, is warming up in the pen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone. Four 0 Silver Knights lead the Suns. Snyder, 2-2. Outside, just missing. And now it's full 3-2, and McHale's going to have a pitch that he's going to be off with.
Great take from Sullivan.
Dangerous take, but yes.
You've come to expect that from him this season. They must have grazed the plate.
The runner off the payoff. Swung on. That one's golfed out foul. Down the third base side. We'll go again from 3-2. .82 pitches thus far here for Snyder. .55 right now for strikes. Cut on a miss for strike 3. That will end the inning and possibly the outing for Justin Snyder. No runs off 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We have gone through 2/3 of the ball game. We head to the top of the 7th, 4-0. Silver Knights lead it. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone? Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
We hit to the top of the 7th. Again, Silver Knights all over the Suns, offensively and defensively. They lead the Suns by a score of 4-0. 4 runs off 9 hits, 1 error right now for the Silver Knights. For the Suns, no runs off of only 3 hits, all singles and no errors. Part of the order, Morissette, LaBelle, Bramante. Collectively, they are 2 for 8 with an RBI. Here's a pitch from Mestre. Past him, going to short. And McHale will grab that one. And finally, it is McHale who outs Morissette this time.
Still scores 2-1 between those two, though. So McHale's a little bit of ground to catch up in that matchup.
Designated hitter number 21, Jake LaBelle, represents 4 outs in only 3 plate appearances. He's 0 for 3, a ground out to short in the first, fly out to right in the third, a 6-4-3 double play in the 5th to end that inning.
LaBelle hasn't really had much success here at Wacona Park in general. That said, one good turn on a ball will change that all in a hurry.
Pitch right down the middle, called strike. That was a dangerous pitch.
Maybe trying to take advantage of LaBelle, maybe being a little bit passive after that first pitch double play he had his last time up.
The 0-1 big cut and miss. And now that's strike 2. Yeah, he here at Wacona Park, he went 1 for 4 on July 19th. I believe that's the only game that he's played here. He's only played once here. Pitch runs outside. Not going to fool anyone there.
Okay,
but just 1-2.
But look at Mestre's kick on that last pitch. It's like his leg was frozen in midair, and then he just sort of lowered it to the ground. I've never seen a pitch like that before.
That one cut on a miss for strike 3. And that is the 3rd strikeout in the ballgame there for Mestre.
No, but looking at that one, Billy, like usually Mestre will lift his leg like right around waist level and maybe give like a slight kick, bending it, and then bending it back down when he goes to throw the pitch. But that last pitch I was referring to, he just sort of hung his leg like maybe not even waist level and then just sort of drooped it down to the ground.
More Masahiro Tanaka. I butchered two names thinking them together at once. Masahiro Tanaka. Here's a pitch there for Monty as that one's low for a ball. Wouldn't you say that was more or less a
sort
four?
of.
A four.
Sort of.
Vermonti sees the next pitch down the middle, called strike one ball, one strike here to the 1-for-3 day on the first baseman, Joe Vermonti. The 1-1 well outside, and I think I know what you're saying now.
No, but he hasn't done it the same way. Like, I'm seeing him consistently lift his leg up to, like, waist level, but the pitch I was referring to, it was, like, maybe knee level his leg was at. Like, now that one was at, like, chest
2-1
level.
is cut on and missed as he tries to swing this one out of the sand trap, but, well, he doesn't connect. As now the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone. And the 2-2.
Again at chest level.
That one low and outside. Now it's full 3-2.
I haven't paid so much attention to the way a pitcher kicks his leg before.
2 pitchers warming up in the bullpen, 1 for each team. As payoff is snared foul, and Everett will say, yeah, I'm not going to grab that.
Oh, come on. Getty would put him to shame.
Well, BJ there is a little bit more of a seasoned vet.
Not fielding-wise, I see.
This one, a hot shot going into right center field. That one's nearly going to go all the way to the wall, and it looks like it will. Now rounding second, and let's see, he's going to test for third. No, he's not. He's going to run back. He would have had third, I believe.
Yeah, I think that one, he probably had a better than even shot of making it to third. Well,
but there's a cardinal rule, and you don't want to click the first or final out in an inning over at third. So playing it safe, especially with a 4-run cushion and a 4-0 ball game, I can understand it.
Yeah, not a terrible idea to hold him up just to be safe. Yeah, that's the 10th hit of the ball game for the Silver Knights, and well, the Suns have had 3 singles. The Silver Knights have had everything in this game except for a homer at some point. They've been able to pretty much consistently apply some type of pressure via base runner to whoever the Suns have. Ooh.
That one just got in on the changeup there, so that hits him in the shoulder. He'll flip it back over to Mestre. Mestre didn't even realize the pitch was going back to him, or the ball, that is.
Well, anyhow, what I was saying is that the Silver Knights have been applying some type of consistent base running pressure. It's pretty much almost any point in this ball game, really. Just the second and fourth inning is the only ones where they didn't have some type of offensive presence. And no matter who the Suns have had pitching between Tolley and Mestre, this has really rung true. The Silver Knights have forced some pretty pressured pitches at some points throughout this ball game, and the Suns' offense has just really been lackadaisical in comparison.
1 for 3 is number 1, the center fielder Luke Tyree. The 7th batter flew up to left twice and singled a bunt single back to the pitcher on what we thought was an out. Pitch just misses outside corner low, 1-0. Mestre with the 1-0. Outside for a ball. 4 runs now, 10 hits for the Silver Knights, 1 error, 0-3-0 for the Suns.
Unfortunately for the Suns in games recently, we've seen those first 2 numbers be all too short.
Here's a 2-0 count. Outside, now it's 3-0. Now he's got to be careful here. Got the first 2 batters of the inning, then a double and a hit by pitch. Now it's 3-0.
A lot of high stress pitches in this ballgame for the Suns so far.
Here's the 3-0. They rule it low, and that will load the bases.
A decently generous call at that, but not to Mestre, who will now have to contend with the bases loaded. And really, the Silver Knights are an opportunistic base hit away from virtually putting this game away.
This is the 3rd straight inning where there was runners on every base. Third baseman number 23, Max Gorion, an RBI single his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Pitch. Ball 5 as this one misses outside.
Really more like ball 6 because of the hit by pitch.
Oh, that's true. Excuse me. And now going out to talk there with Mestre will be Hudson. There's a couple news in the sports world. I forgot what else you mentioned previously, Andrew.
Well, a lot going around. We've got the trade deadline to be so close. Of course, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to be at the center of the action. They got a number of players like J.A. Happ and Josh Donaldson, even Marco Estrada, who really could be moving to different ball clubs. But really looks like the Blue Jays are going to be asking for something to be extremely high in exchange for at least J.A. Happ and Marco Estrada.
Pitch is outside, now ball 7.
Ugh. But
Billy, is Solarte on the trading block?
Yes, he is. But Billy, I want to talk about Josh Donaldson. That's going to be an interesting point of contention right there.
Here's a 2-0. Hot shot to short. It's gloved there by McHale. Flip over to second. They will get the out there. And 3 straight innings where the bases were loaded, they only surrendered 1 run last inning. So this with a fielder's choice will be no rounds off, 1 hit, no errors, 3 men left. Let's listen to Take Me Up to the Ball Game. Nashua Silver Knights lead the Pittsfield Suns 4-0.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
New pitcher in the ball game. That is number 30, Dan Shaw. Shaw in 14 appearances, 1 start, has hurled 25, pitched giving up 24 hits, 22 runs, just 13 earned, walking 8 to striking out 27, 2 losing decisions with a 4.68 ERA. And that will do it for the starter, number 16, Justin Snyder. A quality start in every sense of the word, pitching 6 full, facing 22 batters, 3 hits surrendered with 3 strikeouts, and sitting at 84 pitches.
Quality start, shutout performance by Justin Snyder. And now he's going to leave it up to the relieving corps against the middle of the order. Starting with a middle hitter, Faircloth, Matthews, Kalumovic, all of which are 0 for 6 with a strikeout for Matthews.
Perhaps they'll have more luck against Shaw than they did against Snyder, who pretty much dominated them thoroughly for 6 full innings.
Here's the pitch, as that one went low for a ball. Count here is 1-0 to Faircloth. Here's Shaw with the next pitch. A high fly ball into right center field. Going back is Tyree and White. But White in right center field will collect the out. Well hit, but again, it just dies out there and stays up way too long there, and an easy out in right center field.
I believe the term Wacona Park syndrome has been coined to talk about this, because I'm being serious. Like, Billy, how many times over the course of how long you and I have been here, how many times have we seen things like that happen? Way too many to count.
WPS, I like it.
There
Dave Matthews 0 for 2. Pitch in there, called strike 0-1. Hey, Andrew, I couldn't put it better myself with Wacona Park syndrome. or the Wacona Park effect. Take it as you will. Shaw with the 0-1. Oh, that one nearly got a piece of him as that one broken. Oh, nearly broke the zone to hitting the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 gone. Here is the 1-1. That one also nearly got him on a fastball. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's a 2-1. Caught on a miss there from Matthews. Chased a high heater. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swung on foul behind us onto the concourse. We'll go again from 2-2. Here now the 2-2. Swung on, high hit into center field. Tyree will get underneath this one and collect the second out of the inning.
And again, another very couple fast outs from the Suns offense. Really just hasn't gotten anything consistent going against the Nashua defense today.
Now here's Jack Kalumovic. Gonna try to turn things around here. Suns really in desperate need of some offense here. Here's the pitch. That one's in there about knee buckling there. Kalumovic over the middle of the plate. 0-1 the count here to Jack Kalumovic. 10th pitch of Shaw's outing here and only in 2/3 of an inning. With this pitch. That one foul back.
Like right off the tail end of the bat, hitting them to the backstop. That you actually can't even, like that has to be on accident. You can't try to hit it off that part of the bat, really. At least in that sort of velocity.
Well, it did have a break on it, so understandable. Here's the 0-2 from Shaw, and that one misses high and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Like I've said, it's kind of like flipping a coin and having it land on its side.
1-2. Swung on, he did go. It's in the dirt. Tag is applied. That will end the inning. Kalumovic visually upset as the Suns have not gotten really anything going thus far. 1-2-3, down go the Suns. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We now head through 7 full to the top of the 8th, 4-0. Silver Knights lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Did you know the 3rd leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey.
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
New pitcher in the ballgame for the Suns. That is number 36, Jonathan Marquia. Marquia, 9 appearances out of the pen thus far. 14 innings pitched, 16 hits allowed, 12 runs, 11 earned, walking 4 to 13 strikeouts with a winning decision on the year. However, has a somewhat inflated 7.07 ERA. And from the looks of it, that will do it for the reliever Isaiah Mestre. Looking at Mestre's line, got banged around a little bit in this one, pitching 2 full, 13 batters faced, and earned a run on 4 hits, one of which is a double. Walked a couple with a plunk guy and 3 strikeouts. 52 pitches, just 25 for strikes. In other words, 1 less than 50%. Bit of a rough go of things for Mestre in this one.
Capris will dig in as the first pitch he sees is not called a strike, does not hit the zone. 1-0 here for Marquia against Capris, who is 1 for 2 on the day with a double run scored. Also a walk and a strikeout in the 3rd, 5th, and 6th. High fly ball out to center. Matthews will call off the right fielder, and he will collect the first out of the inning.
Good way to get into the ball game. Get the first guy out on just 2 pitches.
Now the right fielder, number 19, Austin White, will dig in. He is, quite a day there for the young man. 3 for 3, a walk, a run scored.
Doesn't look like he'll be tying FCBL history today, barring an absolute barrage of batting from the Silver Knights.
Needs 2 more hits and, 2 more innings.
Not, of course, out of the realm of possibility.
Marquia with the pitch. Right down the middle. Called strike, 0-1.
Good pitch. Billy, looking like the Yankees are going to go ahead and trade for Zach Britton off the Orioles.
The 0-1, we got to talk about that. Pitch is outside, 1-1. Who are they trading?
Not sure yet, but I'll look into that issue.
That's a shocker that of all teams. So I know they're looking for pitching, but I was unsure about within the division, albeit the Orioles are, bottom tier.
And notably, Billy, their number 9 prospect, Dylan Tate, was scratched from his AA start today.
That would be who they're trading for.
And, of course, the Baltimore Orioles farm pitifully weak on starting pitching arms at the moment. So Dylan Tate would make sense to be the centerpiece for a Zach Britton-based trade. I got to wonder, though, Billy, would he threaten Aroldis Chapman for a closer role?
Hot shot in the right, and that will be in there for a base hit. Barring an injury, I can't foresee it with how stacked that bullpen is.
Oh, but whether or not he's closing, Billy, that would be a ridiculous bullpen.
As if it isn't already. I mean, Aroldis Chapman, he had one bad outing because he is working with a bum knee. But still.
It happens. Yeah, Aroldis Chapman.
4th single here for Austin White. Sorry, Andrew. But 4th single here for White, and he's going to sit on first and more than likely going to try to swipe it back, potentially. Nick Biddison will take in the second baseman right now. Is 1 for 3 with a triple. 2 RBI, a run scored. He also sacrificed flew out. That's why he's got 2 RBI.
But think of that, Billy, though. Chapman, Betances, Robertson, then throw Britton into the mix, and you haven't hit their starters by the 6th inning. You may be out of luck.
Pitch is upstairs, and now it's 1-0. And really, you can rotate and go like the NHL where they have separate lines. You can have a separate setup and closer for
Yes.
2 separate days.
Yes, you can.
And you can go back and forth.
That is insane, Billy, but you are absolutely correct.
Pickoff throw to first, just barely gets back in time.
Ooh, that was close.
The count is 1-0. 1 man gone, runner on first.
I wonder what beyond Dylan Tate would be involved in a trade for Zach.
Runner goes as this one swung on. The hit and run attempt is foiled with a foul ball.
I'm not really sure what the Yankees have to give up beyond Dylan Tate at the moment.
Probably cash considerations, player to be named later.
That's it for Britain? Ooh.
Well, I'm considering cash would be a big one, possibly more prospects on top.
That is Dylan Tate with an ILL.
Pitch misses, low and outside. Thank you, Andrew. 2 balls and 1 strike. We scratched 5 minutes before their doubleheader game. This one, runner advances to second. Chopper, McHale has it, throws over to first, not in time, throw over to third, and they got him.
They got him.
Great throw and great awareness there from the first baseman.
They got him by a mile. I don't really know why he was trying to press for third, but there was simply no chance of him making it over. That was just greedy.
That will go down as a base hit for Biddison.
They pretty much trade places, Biddison and White.
And that will go 6-3-5 on the putout over at third. This will bring up Cody Moore set now with 2 men gone. Here's the pitch. Hot shot right to Sullivan. Second great play in a row, and that will end the inning.
Great pick. Fastball, and he just picked it up like it was nothing.
In the inning, no runs off 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We head now through 7.5 to the bottom of the 8th. We're going to stay here and listen to Sweet Caroline, as right now the Pittsfield Suns head to the bottom of the 8th, again down by 4-0. Silver Knights lead it. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
The catcher number 7, Hunter Hudson, will be leading off this inning. 8-9 hitters due up. Hudson is 1 for 2 on the day here in the 8th. Reached down an air. Here's the pitch. That one fouled back. Count here is 0-1 here to Hudson.
As you noted earlier, Billy.
Well, we'll note that in a minute. This one's gone out to left, but it is caught there by Costello without a hitch. 1 gone.
As you noted earlier, Billy, players in the Suns such as Dave Matthews and Slumovic have shown some type of frustration. And I can't blame them. This has really been a rough game for the offense, and it's been a rough stretch for the offense pretty much ever since the All-Star break, possibly probably even before then. It really hasn't translated to really results on the field so far.
The left fielder, Nolan Cloutier, will take in. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Pitch is well outside.
Would have been a pass ball.
Not official. Pitch. Looks like that one missed low. Now 2-0. Here's a 2-0. This one a hot shot to short. Grabbed there by Morissette. Throw over to first in time. Now 2 men gone.
Really, this one just line them up so some Nashua pitcher can knock them down. There's almost no offensive presence pretty much the entire ballgame for the Suns.
Shea looking for the 4th hit in the ballgame for the Suns, which would tie the runs alone by the Silver Knights. This one, he won't do it with that foul back, 0-1. Really just the Suns have been picked apart by Snyder and Shaw as well as the defense by the Silver Knights. And the Suns pitching has been picked apart by, well, the defense, which has gone on to the reverse, and the offense. Pitch. Caught on and missed. That one high and in. Does not make contact. Now 0-2. Here's the 0-2. High for a ball. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. A 1-2. Swung on, blooping into right center field, and this one will dunk down for a base hit. Shade is on base for the 2nd time today, and now he's 2 for 4 with 2 men gone. A lot of 2-out hitting here today, Andrew.
Well, barring something unforeseen, it won't be hard to find today's hitter for the game for the Suns. As Shade has had half the hitting of the entire team.
So this will bring up second baseman number 30, Thomas Hughes, with a runner on first. Here's a pitch. Upstairs for a ball. The count here is 1-0. As Shade will have a test here if he wants to try for it. In 20 attempts, 17 and 3. So 17 for 20. It's good 85% right there. The 1-0 misses well inside. Gets away from the catcher there, but well, not nearly enough. 2-0 the count. Here's a 2-0. High fly ball deep to left, fair or foul. It is foul ball.
By an inch. That's disappointing.
Yeah, don't play the sirens. That one was foul just barely. It was a matter of fair or foul. If it was gone, they rule it foul.
Probably by about, what, 5 feet, Billy?
Not even. That was a very close pitch, and now Shaw with an exhale. His heartbeat is still going to rise here, but he's going to start to relax here knowing that was a foul ball. But did Hughes get him on that pitch? 2-1. He's in there. Called strike now, 2-2.
Well, Billy, it's looking like the Yankees would send over 3 players to the Orioles, with, of course, Dylan Tate being like the centerpiece of the trade.
So the package deal with the main focus being Dylan Tate.
Predictable.
Shaw from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, flight out towards right. Incoming is White towards right field, and he will run out of room. If he dove, he would have had it. But it is a foul ball. It remains 2-2.
Yeah, not the end of the world that he didn't choose to dive. Is doing that near the wall, you're getting into real dangerous territory.
I'm sorry to laugh. Shade went from second to third. He unnecessarily touched home plate and goes back over to first. So we literally went around the horn from first to first.
Yeah, no, that unfortunately doesn't count. Oh well.
Shaw with the 2-2. Swung on to the right center field. Incoming is White, and that's C. On the run, will make the catch this time.
What an athletic play.
No runs off one hit, no errors, and one man left. We head to the final inning of regulation. Right now, 4-0. The Silver Knights lead it. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Too bad about radio.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, since television, hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? That go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama radio. Who listens to radio? No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's all.
New pitcher in the ball game for the Suns. That would be number 27, Mike Noki. Again, the only pitcher in FCBL history to ever strike out 4 batters in 1 inning. Noki has appeared in 14 overall games this year, pitching 19 innings, 17 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned, 14 walks, 23 strikeouts, got a 1-2 record with 3 saves, and a 3.78 ERA. Looking at it, that will do things for Jonathan Marquis, who came in and got into a little bit of trouble in his 1 inning of work, giving up 2 hits, but did not allow a run in 4 batters faced. Threw just 11 pitches, 6 were strikes.
So it looks like Ryan Berardino will replace Jake LaBelle. His night will be over as a pinch hitting designated hitter. So designated hitting for the PH here.
Looking at Berardino, a .296 hitter, hit a homer with 13 RBI, couple walks to 12 strikeouts. He was named to the All-Star game.
Here's the pitch, and that one's high and away. Count here is 1-0 to Mike Noki, rather from Noki to Berardino. That one down the right field line, foul. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Marquis again, Andrew, you said he only gave up 2 hits.
Correct.
And that would be 2 singles. This one over our heads. Going to track this one down is Hudson. Does he have a play? He does.
Did he? Did he get it?
He does have the play, but I didn't see it. So, I hit off the netting. That's what it was. Excuse me. So the count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, he did catch it. It's just unfortunately
off the netting.
Yes. Still, I mean, great effort.
So Berardino has a 1-2 count in his first plate appearance here today as a offensive replacement. Rare that we say that without saying pinch hitter. Noki has the sign and the 1-2. Hot shot in the right going back here is the right fielder Shade, who makes an over-the-shoulder grab.
Here's an interesting one for you, Billy. The San Diego Padres are looking at Noah Syndergaard.
First baseman number 37, Joe Bramante. He is 1 for 4 on the day with a double last time up. There has been a change. He hit a single in the 6th to the third baseman off an awkward hop. It is going to be ruled an error. Pitch misses outside for a ball count here, 1-0. The Padres going for sit. Who they give up?
I don't know. That's a very good question. I'll look into that.
1-0. Check swing, but doesn't matter. It's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Yankees, I'm sure, are going to be looking for at least one more starter for a playoff push. The 1-1. This one nubbed foul. I was thinking that the Yankees would have Syndergaard across the town. They got a lot of prospects they can give to their National League counterparts as the 1-2 misses high and away, 2-2.
You know, I feel like a Syndergaard trade makes a bit more sense for the Yankees than a Britton trade. Not that a Britton trade...
That's what I was thinking, too.
Not that a Britton trade would be bad by any means, but I just feel like they need a bit more starting depth than bullpen depth.
Pitch just missed, it looks like, and now it's full, 3-2. From the lineup, Noki with the payoff. Right down the middle, called strike 3, and with that, Bramante knew that the whole way.
We're not going to see him strike out 4 guys this inning, barring something really, really weird. But yes, truly strange. But yeah, Noki really has always been kind of a strikeout artist for the Suns out of the pen this season. And I don't just say that because of that one phenomenal appearance. I just say that because he just really has the stuff to be a great strikeout pitcher.
Costello was hit by a pitch the last time up. This one is foul, but oh, what a barehanded grab there from Hudson. It's fouled off the bat, and he snares it and snatches it right out of thin air.
Well, they don't call him the catcher for nothing.
No, and catcher in every sense of the term catch. The 0-1 in there, called strike down Broadway, 0-2.
I don't understand about the Syndergaard acquisition for the Padres, Billy, is
that one's fouled off. Is what is that? Now it's 0-2 it remains. Go ahead.
Well, nobody mistakes the Padres for a contender at this point. That seems like a contender kind of move to make.
Eric Hosmer at first, trying to gather some pieces. I can see it, but that one is fouled off third base side. It's tough.
It would have made more sense.
Especially in that division, it's very tough.
It would have made more sense if they didn't just sell their bullpen over to Cleveland.
That's true.
Because then they would have had a lockdown closer with an ace in Syndergaard. You know, then they would have had something to work with.
0-2, called strike 3 down the middle. Woo. Great movement there on the curveball from Noki. And Andrew, you continue to call that one right down the line for Noki. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the ninth upcoming, and there is one more half inning left to play in regulation. Suns down by 4-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The Suns are down by 4. No runs plated yet for the Suns. 4-0 Silver Knights lead it. We're in the bottom of the ninth, and Dan Shaw will come out for a third inning of relief. And he's going to potentially go for the save if he complete this inning and if the Silver Knights win the game.
Well, really had a pretty easy 2 innings of work. So it seems like it's well within reason he can complete the third inning for the save.
Fouled off to the shortstop, McHale, 0-1. The heart of the order, McHale, Sullivan, Faircloth, is due up, and the All-Star trio tonight are only 1 for 9, with McHale having the base hit out of the trio last time up in the 6th. Big cut and miss, actually fouled off, and now 0-2.
Yes, the heart of the order today could really use some cardiovascular exercise of some sort.
Very true. That one comes up towards us about 10 feet to our right, and it's the third straight foul.
Haven't had one really approach danger zone as far as we're concerned up here.
We are knocking on wood. There's always been at least one. There was one that was probably 2 feet away from getting at least hitting the press box.
We're getting towards the end of the season, and it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, big cut and miss, and a beautiful changeup from Shaw, and there's one gone. What a pitch.
Yes, what a pitch for 2 1/3. He's had a number of what a pitch moments. And that's what's allowed him to be really, really close to qualifying for the save.
Patrick Sullivan 0 for 3 on the day. Strikeout his last time up to end the 6th. Looking to at least get something here. Here's a pitch. Nearly got a piece of him, way inside, 1-0. There is a huge gap in between where the shortstop is and the second baseman, who's playing to the extreme pull, that being Biddison.
I just realized that. Good job finding that one, Billy.
The 1-0 inside on the hands, going foul third base side, and that will stay foul. No one going to grab that one, not even close. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a 1-1. Swung on going into left, and that will dunk in for a base hit. Sullivan with his first base hit of the ball game, looking to get some offense going here for the Suns on a weak line drive to left. Bringing up Dylan Faircloth, who, as well as Patrick Sullivan before that, is 0 for 3.
To get some offense going of some sort, which clearly at this point the team badly needs. Can't tell if it's going to be Shaw or not.
We'll see. He's eligible for the save if he can finish the ball game with the Nashua Silver Knights winning.
Looks like he's going to get pulled. He would have been pulled by now. So
this is just a confidence booster looking at him. If they need to, they have someone warming up in the pen.
Makes sense.
I believe that's Cam Cruz in the pen there. Yes, it is Cam Cruz.
Haven't seen Cam Cruz in some time.
Only 4 appearances, no saves thus far. He's 0-1 on the season.
This is at least his second year with the Silver Knights, though, as I do know he was a part of the team last year.
Breaking ball misses the inside corner. Can't believe the call is Shaw. He just puts his arms down to his side. It looked good on the lower inside corner, but let's roll the ball. Count is 1-0. Pitch. That one is called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 gone. Man on first.
No real debating on that call. That thing really went down Broadway.
Here's a 1-1. Hot shot to short. This could do it. Throw over to second for 1, over to first, and that will end the ball game.
Yikes. Don't want to end a ball game on a double play, but, well, that's unfortunately quite indicative as to the game the Suns offense just played.
So does the Pittsfield Suns with a 6-4-3 double play. They get shut out 4-0. And we'll be right back with the Pittsfield Suns postgame show right here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Home safety is
Welcome to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. And now, back to Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield with your hosts, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belarger.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show, heard right here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. For the Suns, it was, again, a game where the offense was stagnant, and they get shut out against the Nashua Silver Knights 4-0.
Yeah, really just a brutal offensive game from the Suns throughout. They've only scored 1 run against this team in a total of 18 home innings against them. Really just have to have a look at their approach to the plate in general as a team and try to fix something, because this was a really rough game.
That being said, all 4 runs go to the Silver Knights. In the first, there was half of them. As an RBI triple by Nick Biddison, then a sacrifice fly by Cordy Morissette immediately after. And the top of the third, a sacrifice fly by, this time, Nick Biddison. And then in the top of the 6th, an RBI single by Max Gorion. That being said, there was 4 runs off 11 hits, 1 error, and they left 11 men on base. For runners in scoring position, however, they hit 3 for 10 with all 4 runs coming from that. Only 1 RBI collected off of that. And for the Pittsfield Suns, on the flip of the side there, no runs off 5 hits, 1 error, and 5 men left on base. And hitting with runners in scoring position, I think they only had 1 chance. I'll confirm that here. They were 0 for 1. That's right, 0 for 1. So again, the Suns really nothing going offensively. They were picked apart by the offense early by the Nashua Silver Knights as well. And they really just couldn't do anything against the Silver Knight team, who again is really trying to get into a late playoff push. As right now the Suns will drop to 17-25, as the Nashua Silver Knights will improve to 15-29.
And of course, the Silver Knights have been in the cellar for, I'm not even sure how long, roughly about, as Billy was saying, about 2 weeks. But either way, a demoralizing loss for a Suns team, just beaten down at your place by the cellar-dwelling team in the FCBL. It is a tough pill to swallow.
That being said, for the player that is getting the win, it's pretty straight away with a quality start and 6 shutout innings, will be Justin Snyder. And for Snyder now, as we look at his improvement, we look at Snyder now getting actually his first decision of the season. His 3.27 ERA will immediately drop, as he's only pitched 11 total innings, now 17 total innings, and he's only given up 4 earned. So that ERA is going to drop. He's now 1-0, and for the Pittsfield Suns, they had Tolley on the mound, and, well, for Tolley, things not looking great. He now drops another outing. He's now 0-2 in 5 appearances, and his 8.25 ERA, well, it looks like that will also inflate. Getting the save, actually, no, it won't. Getting the save here will be Dan Shaw, and that will be his first save on the season for Shaw. I believe that is his first attempt at a save, and it does appear so. So with that, Pittsfield Suns dropped this one by a final score of 4-0, and for the Pittsfield Suns, their pitcher of the ball game, really hard to say between everyone, but you look at down the line,
I might give it to Noki, honestly. Noki, maybe Mestre.
Noki had a perfect 9th. But with that being said, it's only that many batters faced. You know what? Just for towing the line and going 2 full innings and only giving up 1 unearned run, we'll give it to Isaiah Mestre. Really, you can split it. I mean, it's splitting hairs at this point between Mestre, Marquia, and Noki. But unfortunately for Towley, 1 inning shy of a quality start, gave up 3 earned runs, and going to be set with a loss there. And for the Pittsfield Suns, player of the game, the only man with multiple hits, Chad Shea, 2 for 4, a couple singles, 1 into center, 1 into right, and the 3rd and 8th inning, respectively. But that will do it. Suns get shut out 4-0. Andrew, your final thoughts?
Oh, boy. Well, if this team wants really to have any sort of shot of doing anything in the postseason or, frankly, even retaining their positioning for the postseason in general, we really need to see some improvement moving forward. Just a more generally patient approach to the plate. We see a lot of 1 or 2 pitch outs, just developing into mostly a team full of free swingers, unfortunately, over these last few games. And that really is a troubling trend that needs to change. I mean, the pitching today was not phenomenal, but it was good enough where it should have at least been a much more competitive game than it was. And ultimately, the Silver Knights ran away with it early, and it was never really much of a contest. So we really need to see more from the offense, just more guys working the count, more guys trying to do something that isn't put it over the wall.
This ball game started at 6:31 and ended at 8:55 for a game time total of 2 hours and 23 minutes in front of a crowd of 1,482 participants. The next time you'll hear from us, well, the Suns have 3 away games. Tomorrow in Bristol, Thursday at North Shore, and Friday against these very same Nashua Silver Knights. Next time you'll hear from us will be the final time the Suns will see the Worcester Bravehearts, and that will be a doubleheader for the first game. Both of games are going to be a 7-inning contest. First pitch scheduled for 4 o'clock and pregame set for 3:45. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us. Alongside Andrew Malargin, for players, coaches, umpires, and fans, this is Billy Madewell signing off, saying thank you for listening and watching in to Pittsfield Suns Baseball and the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. We will see you all the way on Saturday during the doubleheader, the Pittsfield Suns hosting the Worcester Bravehearts.
Thank you for listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Please join us next time for more exciting baseball action from Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park. This play-by-play broadcast of Pittsfield Suns Baseball was a production of the Pittsfield Suns. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the expressed written consent of the Pittsfield Suns